Great to have your company on the program as ever. Andrew Clennell, our political editor, Ash Gillen, my fellow Afternoon Agenda host, and Kieran Gilbert, chief news anchor. Bit happening today, maybe not quite the frisson of yesterday. What have you taken from today, Ash?
Well, I think the Prime Minister there in Question Time, he declared that Australians have overwhelmingly, very positively responded to his tax backflip. And I think he's right when it comes to the news poll. That was really obvious. They're obviously keen to make a lot of mileage out of this in Question Time as much as they can this week, and they're seeing it as a huge win. So with someone in the Prime Minister's office earlier today, they're saying the overwhelming feedback they're getting is that this is the right thing to do for the country at this time in a cost of living crisis. But I think that it's too much of a stretch to then keep in the trust, the broken promise, the integrity issues all in the one lump. I think that that is such a more nuanced debate when it comes to how people see this trust issue. And I think that even if people are going into this with that this policy is the right thing for the country, the issue then as to whether or not the next time might not be right for the country comes up. And if the coalition can keep planting that seed of suspicion, I think that's going to be really critical for them in terms of really trying to get the government on this. They need to keep going with this sort of can't handle the truth stuff and reminding voters that this is a broken promise, even though they've ended up going in with them when it comes to passing it in the Parliament.
They have to play that longer game, the coalition. Andrew?
Yeah, I totally think that's what we were seeing today, and it was where I thought the opposition might go yesterday. So they're chipping away. I mean, this is what they did last year. They're chipping away now. They've copped their medicine yesterday and said we've got to agree to these tax cuts. Now they're raising all these cost of living questions, which is appropriate because, after all, most people are only getting $15 extra a week from July 1 on this. So they need to raise how much power bills are up when he said he'd reduce them, how much rent's up, how much mortgages are up. That's what they need to be pushing. I thought there was a better performance from the opposition today than yesterday. Hilarious moment there with Dan Tiernan saying you can't handle the truth when Anthony Albanese was yesterday, he called him Jack Nicholson from The Shining, Peter Dutton. So he talked about some other movies. He raised A Few Good Men. I thought that was a bit of an own goal. Everyone knows that line from Jack Nicholson. You can't handle the truth. And so Tiernan, even before he got up, I thought he should go there. You can't tell the truth.
And he's got
basically the line.
They cut his mic.
Yeah. They cut his mic. Otherwise, he was going to have more fun with that. But no, it's interesting. I mean, Albanese's obviously trying a few different things as well. He's trying to be more animated than he was last year when, frankly, some of his QT performances were a bit dull.
Colonel Nathan Jessup was the character. Danny Caffey was the young lieutenant. I remember because 1992, I don't know if you remember, that we were in year 12, and unfortunately I probably watched a few too many movies instead of studying at the time. But
I was in year 12 in 91, so there you go.
You got me by 1 year. Anyway, no, I thought Tian was a nice interjection from him. Love a bit of that theatre. We can never have too much of it. I guess today, you think about the best orators in the Parliament. I think Jason Clare's very good on his feet, outstanding natural speaker. Jim Chalmers pretty good. But you go back to the Costellos, even the Keatings. You'd watch Parliament and it would be entertaining. They'd rip apart.
Off the cuff was always best when there was an actual line you could deliver off the cuff as well, wasn't it? The rehearsed stuff's fine, but then when someone reacts, that's when the place really erupts a bit more.
You know, the colleagues talk about Jason Clare as a competitor to, say, Jim Chalmers for a future Prime Minister, but they think he's got the goods in terms of definitely got the goods. Maybe even better than Chalmers, as you were alluding to, in terms of that parliamentary and media performance. But they just don't think he's got the steel to go for the job.
One of them said to me yesterday that he's the gold standard in terms of media, in terms of... And we'll try and get him on here at some point to chat to us. But the beauty of Jason is that he's so natural. And authenticity in politics, as you know, as we all know, is magic dust. That's why Trump does so well. You can think that Trump is the most, narcissistic, however you want to describe him. But the fact of the matter is, the guy's authentic. And Americans, they look at him, they saw him for 11 years on Celebrity Apprentice. What they see there is what they see as president.
So when you say he doesn't have the steel, you're basically saying he's too nice to be Prime Minister and really go for it. Is that what you're saying?
Well, that he wants it.
Well, he's either too nice or he doesn't have the guts. I mean, take which version you want, I guess. Maybe there's a bit of both.